Please don't even call back. I don't need your love. I got my life on track. Think I seen enough. I put down the thumbtacks and I started thumbing racks. Hit it, then I put it back. So I can't get attached. I'ma take up what you.
What's going on, everybody? It's another episode of Left Side Heavy, the podcast, presented by Blue Wire Hustle. It's your boy, Jevin LaFave. You follow me on Instagram at jevin.lafave, on Twitter at Jevin LaFave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at leftsideheavy_. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube, Left Side Heavy, and press subscribe. Like all the videos, press the bell to be notified whenever I post. But today it is NBA preview. I got my guy Doug Eberle on. He was on the last preview show, the prior season. So he comes on and we go through every single team's over/under projection, and then we go through awards, what we think our awards will be, and our finals picks, as well as time for the press. So it was a very fun show. You guys are going to enjoy it. There's a lot of banter, a lot of good jokes. And yeah, it was just overall fun. So I won't blabber on too much longer. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Be sure to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And I'll let you get after it. Enjoy the show. It's episode 64 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast, presented by Blue Wire Hustle. I'm your host, Jevin LaFave. You can follow me on Instagram at jevin.lafave, on Twitter at Jevin LaFave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Left Side Heavy _. Today, I welcome back Douglas Eberle, back for another NBA preview show. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Nice to be here.
We're missing our Casper friend Glock. Not to throw him some shade, but
he's here with us in spirit.
Yes, of course, always. What have you been up to lately?
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
I've just been talking with Siri lately.
I forgot to say, Siri's also joining us for the show.
Yeah. Just playing hockey on the side and school and work. That's about it.
How's school treating you? Midterms?
Yeah. It's that season of depression and
contemplation,
and lifelessness. Yeah.
Is dropping out worth it? That thought is definitely
worth it? Definitely is worth it.
Yeah, I just finished in BCIT. I have 4 half-term courses. I'm taking like 7 classes this semester.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But like I'm only taking like 5 at a time because like 4 of them are half-term. But it's still like
a lot.
Yeah, within a week, I had 7 things due, and a final to study for. It was.
Well, thank you.
And it's not like everything was like really hard to do. It's just like it took up a lot of time, each thing to do. So you couldn't really do like 2 things at once. You had to just finish one thing at a time, and it was just super tedious. But yeah, it's my first.
I struggle to do like 3 courses at once. I don't know how you do in 7. That's ridiculous.
Oh, a few of them are online, and like a couple of them I've basically canceled out of my head, and they're not as busy because they're full, like standard length classes. So it's like you can kind of like push it off to the side because some of them aren't really like due for a bit, but it's still like, yeah. And for BCIT, it's all in a learning hub. Like I don't know what it is for like whether it's like Blackboard or something for like Douglas. I don't know what it's like for SFU, but like where your teacher uploads everything, like assignments and news about the classes and stuff, and you have to check everything on your own. Like you hardly get notified for stuff.
Yeah.
So if there's some times where teachers will upload a quiz, but you won't get notified about it, and it's like, oh, this is due in 20 minutes, and I haven't done it yet.
I just throw in the towel when that happens.
Yeah, but it's my first time back in school in like 2 years, and it's heavy. So I'm just not used to it. I've been out of the funk for a bit, but glad to be back. But this NBA season is long overdue. There's been a lot of turnover with different rosters across the league. Some big storylines from a few teams. What are you looking forward to most coming into this season? And basically, what kind of storyline are you looking to follow as well?
LaMelo Ball leading the Charlotte Hornets to NBA Finals.
Oh, that could be how much money do you think that could pay out?
A lot of money.
Have you
I
looked?
mean, like, no, but like the Hornets aren't bad.
I like their team. They're a fun
Yeah,
roster to like
yeah,
a few podcasts that I've listened to, and it was like stated perfectly. They're like a league pass team where like you
yeah, 100%.
where like say you don't get there because over here we're not going to get a lot of Charlotte Hornets games, but like we would subscribe to League Pass just to watch the Hornets because they're a fun team to watch.
Hmm.
I'm gonna see their odds on making it to the finals or even like winning it. Um, this is interesting because they're a team that has like a really bright future and like some team that could surprise like right now in that like state NBA Finals. They're plus 13,000. They're plus 13,000.
So the odds aren't great.
Even with the Raptors.
Yeah, well, the Raptors got no shot this year, unfortunately.
It's just funny because like we'll look at the Hornets like, oh, they could surprise people, but then the next team under them is the Raptors, and people are like, yeah, they have no chance.
No
Just-
shot. No shot.
It's kind of funny how that works out, but I'm interested in like the whole Kyrie and Ben Simmons situations for
Yeah,
their respective sides. Like, what the hell is gonna happen with them? Because that mandate for Brooklyn is some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Where it's like if you're playing in Brooklyn, you can't play in Brooklyn, but if you're a visiting team and you're unvaccinated, then you can play in Brooklyn.
yeah, it is
It's
pretty dumb.
it's something that
I,
doesn't really make sense to me.
I haven't really fully looked into it, but I do appreciate how they're not gonna let him play like half the games and then not like some of the others. Like they're just saying like,
Yeah, they're all in or nothing.
yeah, like quit messing around kind of thing. Because Kyrie does that. Like
Yeah,
he's kind of a drama queen a little bit.
a little bit. That's
Very
generous.
much so.
That's generous.
Yeah,
No, yeah, because it's also unfair to the team, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
players like Patty Mills who were brought in, and like he's been playing well so far. By the way, we're recording a few games into the season, but Patty Mills has been doing well, and if he's just constantly his role is just being raised and then lowered, raised and then
Yeah.
lowered for a guy who just won't, who's like fucking the whole team over. It's just like it defeats the morale amongst the
Mhm.
team. So it's better just like hold him out. So I agree with that. But the NBA 75th anniversary team came out, and there was a few players that have kind of made headlines that have missed the team. Players like Dwight Howard and Klay Thompson, who are very much vocal about not making it. What are your thoughts on those two guys? First of all, what are your thoughts on the team in general? And do you think there were any slouches, like any players left off that didn't deserve
Well,
to be left off?
to be honest, my NBA historical knowledge isn't too great. It goes up until about the 90s,
Sam.
and then before that, it's like Kareem and Magic and Larry Bird, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know all the names on here, so I can't speak for everybody on the team. But Dwight Howard, like he had a good run, and he was very good for I don't know, like 5 or 6 years there. But he fell off huge. Like his drop from his prime to now was massive,
Yeah.
and he hasn't been very productive for a lot of the years in his career. So I don't know about Dwight Howard. What was it? It was Klay Thompson was the other name you mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why he should be on the or why he shouldn't be on the list, and and Westbrook is. Like if I were to think about the legacy of two players, Westbrook versus Klay, I'd probably put Klay as a better player overall than Westbrook is. Like
Yeah.
in terms of legacy, at least.
No, I agree. And as much as I love this player, and I think he's one of the better players in the league at his respective position, Damian Lillard. I'm sorry, but like I love you, Dame. But and this isn't anything on Dame because he didn't make the list.
Yeah.
But what is Dame doing on there?
He's on the
'Cause-
list as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
And Klay Thompson isn't. Like Klay Thompson got 37 and a quarter and 40 points off of 4 dribbles. And he has 3 championships, and he's one of the best shooters in NBA
Of all
history.
time.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, why is Paul Pierce on here and Klay Thompson isn't?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and like LeBron, like why is he on there?
Yeah, good point. That guy's trash.
But
Just garbage.
yeah, no. So I think Klay definitely should have been on there.
Yeah.
Because if you're classified the best of all or one of the best of all time at anything, you should be on
Yeah.
the list. Because Dame
like-
has been
There's
good,
also like,
but he hasn't really done much.
yeah, Carmelo Anthony's on the list too, but once again, like, I mean, he hasn't really done much. Like,
He kind of had
like
a
he's
career
really
like
good.
he kind of had a career like Dwight Howard.
Exactly. And it's like he didn't win anything, and Klay is just, I think, a more valuable piece for teams and has a better legacy than he does.
Yeah, so there were definitely like hits, but then I don't know, there's just like some misses on there that I think Klay easily could have. Do you
Mhm.
think Anthony Davis should be on there?
Not yet.
Because he is on there.
He is?
Yeah. And like,
Yeah. I mean, he's better than Westbrook. And I think he's like, even though he's got a shorter career and he doesn't have like the triple double or whatever
Yeah.
that Westbrook does, I still think he's a better player and was way more impactful for that championship run that the Lakers had. Was it 2 years ago?
yeah.
So I'd put him on the list over somebody like Westbrook, who's also on the list. But yeah, over Klay, a 3-time champion and one of the best, if not the best, like catch and shoot 3-point shooters in the league.
Yeah, one of the more
I don't know.
efficient scorers as well. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't have to do much to drop 45.
Yeah,
He'll just come off the screen and bang like 10 threes and then like hit like 4 free throws and he has like 44. It's like, okay. Oh man. That 37-point quarter was absolutely insane against. And then he's like, yeah, it's
well, he had 16 3/4 too, and then Steve Kerr pulled him out the one game.
yeah, I know. And then like 4 dribbles, he dropped 40.
hmm
That's like, yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Like enough is said. Like he should be on the list over a lot of these guys on here.
I agree. And yeah, he's been a vital part of championships. It's not like he's like in the NFL, LaShawn McCoy has 2 rings and he's never played it down
Yeah,
in those games.
Well-
It's not like he's that type of guy where he's not playing any sort of role in a championship
Yeah.
run. Like he could have one more ring against the Raptors if he didn't tear his ACL and KD didn't get hurt. Like Klay Thompson has been valuable to those teams, and he's one of the best shooters of all time. So, yeah. No. But, hey man, it's not me to decide. That's why I'm sitting in my room. But
but if we could, Klay would be on that list.
100%. 100%. All right, Dougie. I got some over-unders here according to actionnetwork.com.
Okay.
Usually FanDuel does some of this stuff, but I think they put the win totals away once the season started. So I kind of these could be fluctuated according to different websites. So if some are inaccurate, then at me. But we'll start in Eastern Conference, and then we'll kind of move through each division. and then we'll give each of our playoff picks after we've run both. So we'll go through the East, go through the West, and then give our playoffs for each. And then
Sure.
we'll give our finals picks and our awards, and we can kind of rifle through those, and I have a few questions at the end. But we'll start with the Celtics. They're over/under set at 46.5. They bring Dennis Schroeder in.
Yeah.
After he turned down $84 million from the Lakers and signed for $6 million with the Celtics. What do you look at, or what do you see when you look at the Celtics, and like can they improve this year?
I don't know about improve, but I think, I mean, I just like look at the rest of the teams in the East, and I don't really see, other than like Chicago, I don't really see any of the teams that got like drastically better. You know, like the Nets are now missing Kyrie, and Philly doesn't have Simmons, and although that might make them better, who knows? But you know, like I don't see like a lot of improvement, so I don't see why the Celtics couldn't have more than what was it, 46 wins?
46.5. So they have to get to 47.
Yeah. So I could see them having 47.
Yeah, and I really think that this is a season where Tatum can really take the next step. Like he's already
the year.
He's already like improved by like he's already taken a step like each season he's been in the league. Yeah. But I think this could be like people are starting to put bets in to win like MVP.
Maybe.
And like based
he had a 41-point game last night.
Yeah, and based on value, because he's like 10, like 7 to 10 range to win it, and like I don't hate that. Like he's capable of like being that guy to take him over the edge, but I think they might need a bit more to make like a deep run. But
yeah,
do you think they're a playoff team, or do you think they're like a play-in team?
Definitely a playoff team.
Yeah, I agree. The Nets, 56.5, 82 game season.
The only thing that would stop that, I think, is just the antics, just like locker room antics could mess up chemistry or something.
And I think because Patty Mills is there for Kyrie.
Yeah.
Can he like stay consistent enough to be like a valuable piece to production? Because obviously Harden and KD, they are who they are. You can always count on them to.
Yeah.
And if like KD needs a rest, then Harden's ran the show in like Houston and stuff. He's used to it. But like, can the other spot, like Joe Harris,
I think so.
Like Patty Mills, like can they be consistent enough?
Well, I mean, you also got older guys too, like Aldridge and Griffin. That it's like, even if they're not all-stars anymore by any means, but if one game of the week or one game of the month they need to turn it on to help out the team and get a few extra points, get 20 points or something, I don't see why they couldn't.
Yeah, I have them at a slight under, like 54, 55 wins, but I definitely think they're going to hover around that range. And if they go over, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think they're the type of team where once they are like confident that they're in a good position to get at least home court, then I think they might start resting more guys. Like maybe KD might take a few nights off or whatever, and like their defense too. Sometimes they have to score like 140 at least on some nights to like put them in a good position to win. But yeah, I have them at a slight under, but I mean they're still going to be a top 3 seed in the East at worst, in my opinion. But the Knicks, 41.5. This one's tough.
It is. That is a really tough one.
Because like, was last year a fluke? How is RJ gonna come into the year? Like, can Julius Randle repeat that season? There's a lot of questions. Kemba Walker coming in.
Yeah, I don't know how Kemba's gonna fit with like D Rose and quickly on the point, because who's their coach this year? Did they switch up the coach from last year?
No, I think it's still Tibbs.
Still Tibbs. Well, I know last year I was following their point guard situation, and they wouldn't have somebody start point guard like more than like 2 games in a row. Like I swear it was changing every second week. It would be like a new starting. Like obviously the players were the same, but they
Yeah.
would rotate who started and I know they did decently last year, but I don't know. It's the Knicks.
The Knicks are gonna Knicks. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're always a hard team to kind of judge. I have them at a slight under. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna be like a 39 win team. Maybe
Yeah. I think that's probably
maybe even
accurate.
like a 41 and just like a 41 wins.
Hmm.
It's just a matter like yeah, like do they have enough to like repeat? Because they really like surprised a lot of teams like they weren't
Hmm.
supposed to make the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Randall was playing like a top 10, top 15 player in the league last
Yeah.
year. He was going crazy.
Like he was in the conversation to be like first team all NBA.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, they're definitely going to be an interesting team this year. And do you think that the NBA is better when the Knicks are good?
Yeah. I mean, they do have. I think they do have the largest like fan base of any of the basketball teams, even more than the Lakers. So I think Knicks being good for basketball is good.
Man, like their fans are fucking crazy, bro. Like, have you seen the videos like of everyone outside of MSG? Like
I haven't, but I do know that like if you're a fan of the Knicks, man, you must be crazy because they've been so bad for so long. Like, yeah,
it's yeah, like I saw some videos and it was I have to like if I saw that I'd be like, "Hey, let's run. Like run away." Like this is dangerous territory. But yeah, I got him a slight under. Where do you got him?
yeah, I'll go with slight under as well. I think their whole team is just a kind of chaos. Like I don't know. I don't think they really have any direction as to where they're going with their team. So
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. 76ers. 50 and a half. No Ben Simmons. That guy is one of the biggest crybabies in all of sports.
definitely.
Do you think he's the most hated athlete right now?
Mm, maybe. Usually that title sits on LeBron's shoulders or something, but yeah, it's possible.
I mean, I think everyone looking at him in his position, like us, like, bro, you're getting paid $30 million a year.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a little
Like,
ridiculous.
the fact that you won't just shut up and, like,
Well,
play.
what was his excuse now that he's not playing? He can't play to his expectations or something like that.
I don't even know, but he got, like, kicked out of practice and stuff because he was, like, on his phone during drills. Like, and then Doc Rivers was like, "Hey, if you don't want to be here, then get the fuck out," and he just left.
Yeah.
Yo, 76ers could have got Harden for him. Remember that
Was
shit?
that a package at one point in time?
I think so. And the 76ers said no.
Well, the Sixers are stupid then, because that's dumb. Simmons is like literally a dumpster fire. That man is trash.
He's so
Uh,
like yeah, he got put on blast. But if you go a full series not scoring like single point in the fourth quarter or something like that, or like not taking a shot in the fourth quarter,
mhm.
whatever it was, you can't expect any sympathy from
I mean, if
anyone.
you're a point guard who can't shoot the three ball, you can't expect sympathy from anybody. Like he doesn't even attempt it. Like
Yeah,
if you watch Giannis play, if they left Giannis for a 3-point shot, he would chuck up really ugly looking jumper, but sometimes it would fall, sometimes it wouldn't, but it would keep the defense
honest.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whereas Simmons is just like they don't even bother. Like
Yeah.
nobody like if Simmons is standing outside the line, like nobody cares. He's not a threat.
Yeah. There's so many clips of him like standing at the top of the key and everyone's under the rim.
Yeah.
And he drove.
Yeah. Yeah, he's terrible.
Like it's
I think Simmons has always been overrated personally.
like he's a great defender, like one of the better defenders in the league because
Yeah.
he can guard multiple positions. And like I respect that. Like if you're a good defender, that goes a long way.
Yeah, well,
But
he is
bro,
a 6'10" point guard. So
yeah. Like bro, you have so many intangibles
hmm
that makes a player great. And one of the things that you're lacking, so many players have developed over time and you just
yeah,
won't.
yeah. He
That's
doesn't
why
even
it's
have
so
to develop it.
frustrating.
He doesn't even have to develop it to a high level. Just
Just respectable.
yeah.
Like even if you just like shot more, like
hmm
attempted more,
hmm
like you're a professional basketball player, at least one of them has to go in.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you watch the clips of him in the off season, he looks like Klay Thompson, but then
Yeah.
regular season comes around and he can't hit a thing.
Like you just look at Lonzo and he was I mean obviously like he was letting loose in college. And then when he got to
hmm
the league, he was like kind of started hot and then he went through a few seasons where it's like he couldn't hit a thing. And then over
Yeah.
time, now in Chicago, he's draining from three.
Yeah.
And now he's becoming what Ben Simmons wants to become. Like
Yeah.
great defender, great vision, and can shoot threes. Like it makes the defense so much more honest, like you said. And the fact that he just won't develop a shot is so frustrating. But 50.5. I still got the over.
I'm gonna go under.
Under?
I like Seth Curry is good as their starting point guard right now. You know, like he's decent, but I don't see them getting 50 wins.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think they won 49 games last year in 72 games.
Yeah.
But they still had Simmons like defensively because he was a finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, so
Yeah.
he was still somewhat valuable last year. So missing that, but the Raptors 35.5, clearly rebuilding. Clearly rebuilding.
Yeah.
What team did they get absolutely spanked by a few nights ago? Was it the Pistons?
No.
The Magic.
Pistons are 0-3. Yeah, it probably could be the Magic, yeah.
That like they were getting absolutely bent over. But it's just gonna be hopefully our young players just like show some bright spots. I think that's the kind of season it's gonna be.
Yeah, well, I think this year OG needs to take a step forward, needs
Yeah.
to step up a little bit.
I mean, he's been playing nice so far.
Yeah, he is, yeah. But I think I mean, yeah, we suck. The Raptors suck a lot. Like it's bad.
I FaceTime DK their opening game, and he was like, because I was showing like him something I like edited, and he was like, "Bro, are you watching this Raptors game?" And I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "Man, I don't even know what to say." And he showed me the screen, and they're getting like trounced by like 30 to like a bottom feeder, and I'm like, "Oh my God." He's like, "I don't even know, man."
Yeah, like I mean, they are. Siakam is out, so once Siakam comes back, they'll have a little bit more help. But
yeah, I don't know.
Bad. Very bad.
Very bad. Yeah, I got the under 35.5. I just think it's gonna be one of those seasons where they're just gonna have to start building through the draft, and hopefully they can piece some stuff together, and then sooner or later maybe they sign some vets to maybe teach the young kids a few things or two, and then yeah, it'll be they're starting at the bottom and working way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls drastically improved, adding DeRozan, Lonzo, Caruso,
The GOAT.
the GOAT, Do you think they are like a serious threat?
Yeah. Well, I guess serious threat is maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but I definitely think they're a playoff team, and I definitely think they're maybe top 6, top 5 in the East. I don't think they're better than the Bucks or the Nets, but or the Celtics, but they could definitely slide into that fourth spot. Because I mean, like Vukovic too, like people don't really talk about him because he kind of slides under the radar, but
Yeah.
he's amazing. He's a great player. I think of any of the players that they picked up in the offseason, like not Lonzo or DeRozan. I think Vukovic coming in there was
Yeah, because he
just
came in last year at the trade deadline.
yeah,
And then I guess that kind of like they noticed like, hey, Levine's actually turning and like he's
yeah,
developing into like a legit player.
yeah,
Because last like a few years ago, everyone just looked at him and Aaron Gordon like, oh, dunk contest, that's it. They're just like they're slashers, that's all they can do.
yeah,
Just drive and finish. That's about it. They're like gonna be like 15 points per game type of player. But now as Levine's like past few years, he's been taken off as like, okay, this guy can actually like lead a team. Like he's legit. He has a pedigree. So they
yeah. No,
decided to make that serious move for Vucevic, who's a
I
solid center.
I think I think that even their bench is really good too. Like Kobe White playing the point guard off the bench,
Yeah.
and Caruso coming off the bench too as like the 2 guard, and like because Caruso might not be like an offensive threat, but the dude can play defense
Yeah, he's a
like
pest.
really really good. And yeah, I think overall their team's pretty good.
Yeah, I really and like I know DeRozan's not young, but like he's a good enough age where he can keep the team like in the right headspace and
Hmm.
he can still be effective on the floor.
Yeah,
So and I think that's going to be really huge for like a younger team. And I like how Lonzo has been improving since his days in a Laker uniform where he was getting some backlash because of the spotlight he was put in so early on, like especially coming from UCLA because
hmm,
he was doing well there and then drafted high overall. His dad, um, LeVar was putting him in the spotlight heavy, comparing him to Steph. Magic Johnson was saying his jersey's going to be in the rafters. Like he kind of got started on a pretty bad note early on, just with all the
yeah,
pressure he was given.
yeah,
And now, ever since he's kind of gone to teams where he's been more low key, like smaller organizations. I guess Chicago isn't a small organization at all, but like the Pelicans, I think that was a perfect move for him.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
some,
Definitely allowed him to like kind of lead the team too,
yeah,
because I know Zion was there, but and Ingram too. But I mean, like those guys have, or at least Ingram and Lonzo, they've played together, so I don't really see like that relationship between the two of them as like Ingram being like the A guy and Lonzo being the B guy. Like I see them thinking of each other kind of as equals, and like maybe that
yeah.
gives Lonzo a bit more confidence there.
No, I agree. I think the Bulls like had a great off season, and I think they can really make some noise this year.
Hmm.
42 and a half. Is there
I'm gonna go
over under?
over.
I'm gonna go over as well. I'm excited to. They're also another one of those league pass teams. I love watching Lonzo play. There's a clip of him playing D.
Hmm.
I think he was like Laurie Markkinen he was guarding, and like it didn't even look like he was trying, and like Markkinen couldn't get back past him,
Yeah.
and then he just like blocked him, and then he ran a fast break and threw an oop or something like that. Like Lonzo's like he could be have a serious year this year.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
speaking of marketing, the Cavs 27 and a half. I have one note here, and it's I don't even know.
Fair. Yeah, they're fair enough.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio running the point right now. Um, does Kevin Love get traded this year?
I, I think it all depends like who wants Kevin Love. Like obviously the Cavs don't want him, but
He doesn't want
Who
to
would
be
want
there. Yeah.
Like who like I hesitate to say the Lakers because it seems like every old dude that hasn't, that doesn't want or their team doesn't want them anymore just ends up on the Lakers. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think he probably ends or he stays there this season just because I don't think anybody wants him.
Yeah. I don't like. I just like the Cavs. I don't even know. Like, they got Sexton. They got Garland. They got Mobley, who's been compared to like Chris Bosh 2.0.
I think Mobley will be good, but obviously, I mean,
There's
still
only
super young. So
yeah, and there's only so much you can do on a team like the Cavs.
yeah,
But I mean, Rubio's been doing his job.
Yeah.
He's been playing well so far. But 27.5 is their over under.
That's one of those ones where that 27.5 sounds like a real nice number. So I'll just go under because I think 27 is a realistic number.
Yeah, I got him on the under as well. I can see him as like a 24 to 27 win team.
Yeah.
The Pistons, back-to-back heaters. 24.5.
Under.
Under.
Easy. They're not. I could see him going 0-82. Who's losing to the Pistons? Yeah. They have nobody. Like actually nobody. I don't think I know a single player on their roster other than Kelly Olynyk.
Kelly Olynyk, let's go.
Like they're hot garbage.
Yeah, because even the Cade Cunningham, he is hurt right now.
Yeah.
And like he's their only hope.
Yeah. Yeah, their team is horrible.
Let's see here real quick. Got Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham. It shows that he's starting and he's out. I got Jeremy Grant. He's been doing well the past few seasons, and he's now officially on a team where he can. He is the guy, but
he is the guy, and that's pretty sad. No disrespect to Jeremy Grant, but
yeah, safe
terrible.
to say, I got this team under. But yeah. The Pacers, 42.5. I kind of like their starting five. They got some players on there, and they got the Mavericks old coach. I forget his name. Maybe it'll say here, but
Rick Carlisle.
Yeah. I like the addition of him. I think he's gonna make him a better team. They got Brogdon, Karis LeVert, TJ Warren, Sabonis, and Miles Turner as their starting five. It's just a matter of LeVert and Warren can stay healthy. But even so, like last year, Justin Holiday and TJ McConnell, like they did well as coming in, like off the bench.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they're gonna be a team where they're gonna be like, I kind of relate them to Minnesota Wild of the NHL. Like they're just gonna be a team where they're not going to be great, but they're not going to be bad. They're like a very mid team, like all the time. But they're a team that you can't take lightly.
No. Yeah, I completely agree. Because if Sabonis is playing well, like once again, it's kind of like Randall where he flies under the radar a little bit.
He
like,
does, yeah.
He's like a top 7, top 8 big man in the league, like low key, very low key, obviously, but after like Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, and AD, like I don't know, I feel like that list kind of
drops off.
I mean, I'm probably forgetting somebody, but
it
does drop off a little bit. But then I feel like the rest of those guys like are kind of a little bit underrated. Like I think Sabonis is a great player.
He's solid. Like he won't like flash you with like any crazy things, but he's consistent. Like there's not a lot of nights he takes off.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think that if he was in a bigger market like LA or New York, then like he would be like
Yeah,
a
for sure.
big name in the league. But since he's in Indiana, he kind of, like you said, flies under the radar. And you got the most inconsistent fantasy player of all time, Miles Turner, on the fucking team. Yo, I have him, and he gave me like 35 the first night. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
all right. Next game, he gave me like 18. I'm like, all right. And then he gave me 63.
Yeah, because he's a monster. Like,
And then he gave me like 12 and 10, and I'm like, all right.
yeah, if he's getting his blocks, man, he's a monster. Like,
Yeah.
defensively, he's a beast. But,
Yeah. But no, the Pacers are always like a sneaky team, and they're like a pesky team that I can see them like in the play-in area.
Mhm.
But it's just a matter of can they stay healthy? Because Karis LeVert, he's been dealing with some injury struggles the past few years. TJ Warren went off in the bubble, and then he's like a solid piece. But yeah, I got slight under 42.5. Like, I think they could be like a 500 team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Bucks, 54.5. They kind of kept everyone. This is a team where I can see they maybe like get Kevin Love or something cheap for like the playoffs or something. Like coming off the like be like a Brook Lopez type of player.
Mhm.
But do you think they're gonna have like a championship hangover, or do you think they're gonna be just as strong as they were last year?
I don't know. It's tough to tell because like Giannis is kind of like he's kind of like a Kobe-esque mentality where it's like no nights off, like goes 110% every night. So I don't see him slacking off, but I don't know about the rest of the team. So I could I'd see them performing the same as last year. I don't see why there's any reason why they wouldn't.
Where do you have them? 54.5.
I'd probably go over.
Yeah, I got them on the over as well. I just think they're one of the better regular season teams in the
Yeah.
NBA. The Hawks, 46.5. Ice Trey is solidified now. He's
Mhm.
not someone. It's always someone you have to look out for. He's gonna pull up from the logo if he needs to. He's a guy who can actually like lead a team. He's not just. He's in the Luka conversation now after Luka was like one tier ahead of him, but I think Trey has solidified himself in that tier.
Yep.
Do you think they could like creep themselves into like a top 4 seed in the East?
I don't know about top 4, but top 6 maybe. I think the top 4 would be pretty tough because you got like the Nets, the Bucks. I don't think they're better than Chicago. I don't think they're better than the Celtics, but that 5-6 kind of range, I could see them sliding into there.
Where do you rank Trey Young in the league? Like, is he like a
I don't know.
tier 2 kind of guy? Like,
Well, it's like if you think about like who are the top point guards for you? Like I'm thinking like Lillard, Curry.
as much as I hate it when he is playing, I think Kyrie is up there. It's just a matter
Kyrie
of
too, yeah.
it's just like
Um,
I mean, do you want to count LeBron?
we won't because they got
Yeah,
like I
we
guess
won't.
Westbrook now.
Yeah,
But like
Luca.
I still think Luka's better. Like I know he's getting close, but I still think Luka has the edge.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like I don't know. Who do you think's better, LaMelo or Trey Young?
Right now, Trey.
Okay.
I think LaMelo maybe a couple seasons.
See,
I
like
think that
if
I
you
think they're
put
both flashy players, and I think they're both fun to watch. But I think Trey has a bit more of that Mamba mentality that he can kind of. But he is a player that fed off of that jumping into the blocker from 3, getting the fouls. He is that kind
kind
of
of a
player
villain.
who flops.
Yeah.
So he won't be getting that this year. Does
Yeah.
that impact him?
I think it does. I mean like I think if you put LaMelo on this team, I'm kind of a LaMelo fan, so it's a little bit biased, but I think if you put LaMelo on this team, they'd be just as good. Like I don't think it takes anything away from them. So I think Trae Young is like, he's almost at that like one of the best point guard spots in the league level, but
Yeah.
just below it,
I
just
think he's like
slightly
a
below
tier
it.
2, tier 3
I'd
player.
definitely put him tier 2.
Yeah.
Tier 2.
Yeah. The Hornets. Oh, do you have over under 46.5?
For the Hawks?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
It is.
I think just under, because I don't know. Sometimes their health issues on that team are not the greatest. Like you got Capella and Collins and a bunch of guys like Gallinari too that it's hard for them to stay healthy. So I'm gonna say under, but just by a very small amount.
Yeah, I have him as slight over. Like a 48 win team, maybe. 40, like 47-ish. Hornets, 37.5. Young, like exciting team. I have them as the over too. There's like they were the 4th seed last year when LaMelo got hurt.
Yeah.
And then they dropped down to the play-in, which I think helps your case of the Hawks thing. Like LaMelo came in and was a serious like he's carrying this team. Because a lot of people, like the whole Ball family, was like, okay, Lonzo came in and he was good. Did he win Rookie of the Year? Nope. I can't remember. Who won Rookie of the Year? Lonzo.
When Lonzo was there, was it Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, I think.
Or was it Simmons? Because remember they had the beef where it was like Simmons wasn't a rookie, but he wasn't a rookie or whatever. Because like Simmons didn't play like his first.
No, Simmons won the year that Donovan Mitchell was a rookie. Because Donovan Mitchell was going off, but Ben Simmons was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then what year did Lonzo get? Was it after that year then that Lonzo was drafted?
Yeah, let me see. Lonzo Ball Rookie of the Year. Did Lonzo win Rookie of the Year? It says LaMelo. What year is it? 2018? I think it was.
I think it was the same year as.
It was that year. Alonzo just wasn't in the conversation because it was like Tatum. It was Tatum, Mitchell, and Simmons.
Yeah.
And Simmons got drafted the year before. Yeah, that's what it was. But I forget where I was. But no, Leandro, LaMelo. There's like some questions coming into his rookie year. Like, does he have the stature to like play in the NBA? Because he's like kind of came in skinny.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he showed that he's flashy. He's a playmaker. He's pretty good on defense, and his shooting developed throughout the year. So
yeah, modern day Magic Johnson.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
You heard it here first.
Let's go. Is LiAngelo gonna play this year?
If somebody gets injured, maybe. I don't know. I would probably say probably not.
And then that call-up gets injured.
Yeah.
But I have them over 37.5. I think they're going to be around like 40 wins. I like that for them. The Heat, 48.5. They have a really nice 5. I really like what they got. Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Bam, and I forget who else, but you get where I'm getting at. They have a nice team. Then they got Hero coming off the bench too. Victor Oladipo when he's healthy. Do you think they can make another run to the finals?
I don't know about the finals, but they'll definitely be a playoff team. Easily a playoff team.
Does health concern you?
A little bit, but not really. I think they have enough depth. Whereas, like, if somebody does get injured, I think they have players that are, could easily step up or fill in the role. And I mean, like once Oladipo comes back, if he plays anything like he did before, then they'll have a lot of depth and a lot of strength, I think. So yeah, I think they'll be a playoff team easy.
Yeah, I have them over 48.5. I just think they're a really deep team and strong team, and I think they're. Do you think Lowry's going to make a big impact?
I
think he's going to be okay.
He'll be better defense. Like I think he'll really strengthen their defensive end because I mean, he's kind of a pest on defense, and Dragic wasn't really at all. So yeah, I think he'll make an impact.
The Magic, 22.5.
Yeah, what can you say? Magic.
It's Magic.
I don't honestly. I don't really know much about the Magic.
Same.
I know they got Mo Bamba, but that's about it. So.
And they picked up Suggs, but I have the under 22.5. I just think they're going to be a write-off this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Wizards, 34.5.
I'm gonna go under.
Acquired a bunch of pieces in that Westbrook trade, but yeah, I have them under 34.5 as well.
Like who do they have? Beal?
Kuzma? Dinwiddie, baby.
I could see Dinwiddie really going off this year.
Yeah, same.
You know, actually, I'm looking at their roster right now. It's like I think. What did you say the over/under was?
34.5.
Oh, okay, still probably under.
Yeah,
because I think,
but like not like terrible. Like I've seen worse.
No, yeah, like they got Beal. He's a beast. KCP's not bad on defense, and Montrezl Harrell was a 6th man of the year at one point. So
yeah,
they're not the Pistons.
They're not the Pistons. I'll just run through my East playoffs now.
Yep.
I got Bucks at the top with the Nets, Sixers, Heat, and then the Hawks and Celtics rounding out the initial 6. And then for the play-in, I got the Bulls, Hornets, Knicks, and Pacers.
So for the play-in, you have the Bulls, Hornets. What were the other two?
Knicks and Pacers.
Knicks and Pacers. Yeah, I agree with that. I think I might put the Bulls up a little bit.
I respect that.
Who do you think's coming out of that play-in though?
Bulls and Hornets.
Yeah.
I just love the Hornets, man. They're fun to watch.
The Hornets are great.
Scary Terry.
I mean, my hot take is that the Hornets finish 3rd in the East, but I don't think that'll happen realistically, but it'd be real nice if it did.
That would be nice. That'd be awesome.
It would be.
So Hornets to finish 3rd. Let's clip that. Let's go into the Instagram, baby. Do you have like a standard? Do you kind of agree with the teams I said?
Yeah.
Do you have any set order that who do you got finishing at the top?
I think probably the Bucks. I mean, like they don't have any setbacks. Their team's just great.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to say the Nets because personally, I think when it comes down to it, the Nets are a better team than the Bucks are. Like,
yeah,
KD and Harden, and just by themselves, I think are just incredible. Like,
yeah,
who's stopping them? Nobody.
Yeah. Because honestly, the Bucks did benefit with a few injuries, and then like Joe Harris not being able to hit a shot, and then it came within an inch of the Nets not advancing.
Yeah, so I don't think Brooklyn will be like regular season. I don't think they'll be a great regular season team just because
this might take
KD,
nights off.
Harden, yeah, exactly, and with the whole Kyrie situation. So, but I think when it comes to playoffs, I think Brooklyn's still the best team.
Fair. Go to the West. Start with the Nuggets, 47.5. Great depth. Missing Jamal Murray though. Torn ACL, no timetable to return. MPJ season?
Could be. I think he's a little overrated, but
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I just think he's overrated. I don't think he's all that sick. I mean, what was his contract they signed him to this year? Something like 180 million for 4 years.
Yeah, something like that.
It's like, what has he done?
I kind of agree with that too. Like, I think they
Like,
paid him hoping that he becomes the player that's right now worth that contract. If that makes sense.
yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. Like I'm looking at his stats right now. It's like 11 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 2.7 assists per game. It's like Danny Green could get you that.
Yeah.
Like he's just not that sick. Like, yeah, he's got potential, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a hopeful sign, but I think like a $90 million would have been like a good price for him, maybe.
Well, it's like they played
It's still a lot
Cleveland. They played Cleveland in their last game, and in 27 minutes he only had 11 points on 14 field goals attempted. So I think his field goal percentage was like 28.6%.
Yeah.
Which is hot garbage against a team like Cleveland.
Yeah, and if you're making like $190 million overall, and you're gonna need to.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. I have them over 47.5 because I still think the Joker's gonna. Man, that guy's so good. But I think they're like a 48, 49 win team, even like maybe in the 50s. I just think they're a good regular season team.
I'm gonna say a little bit of a hot take. I'm gonna go under, but only slightly because I still, like you said, Jokic is a beast. But
yeah, T-Wolves 35.5. D'Lo, Anthony Edwards, Cat. Yeah, I just don't know where they are as a team. Like, what do they want to do?
I don't know.
Like, I feel like they're just like they've plateaued where they like. I think they've hit their ceiling. Like, I just don't know how far they can go.
When I look at their roster, I don't see any names that like would help them on their bench really.
Yeah.
Like Cat is great.
Edwards is becoming like a star.
Edwards is doing pretty good. D'Angelo Russell's he's like one of those like tier 3 point guards that'll be solid every night kind of thing, or at least most nights. But like the rest of their roster it's kind of weak. So
yeah, I agree.
With what they got, I don't see them doing much better.
I got them under 35.5.
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna kind of disappoint. I don't really know how they're gonna get better. Like they're good enough to not get a great pick, but like they're not bad enough to get like a top 5. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're in kind of a crappy position right now.
It's just like they'd rather like. Yeah, I don't even know.
They could be like a play-in team that loses.
Yeah.
But I don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah, same here. OKC 23.5.
Yeah.
I think Shea could carry them to the over. Like, I think Shea could really have an improved season, but I also said that last year and he didn't. So, but also like Giddey, they got Lou Dort.
Yeah.
Shea. Yeah, I don't know. They're clearly building for the future, so I think they're just trying to put some.
They got every single draft pick in the entire world. So, like it's only a matter. Like I don't think anybody, like if somebody's like an OKC fan, like they definitely shouldn't be concerned.
Yeah.
Because obviously this season isn't it, but they'll be really good.
I think they're in a position where show us that we're like, I think Shea has to show like, okay, we can build around this guy. And then if they show any promise, they can like trade some of those picks for solidified guys to fast forward the rebuild or retool or whatever you want to call it,
or trade him for more picks.
Oh my
God! All the first round picks possible.
So with picks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, OKC selects. The University of Kentucky.
Yeah, literally, just the whole team.
Gonzaga. Oh man, imagine. But yeah, I have them slightly over. Why not? Like, I don't think they're going to be anything crazy, but I think they can get over like 24 wins. I think they can do that.
Yeah.
I think they can grind out some of those wins, but I can also see him not.
It's possible. Certainly possible.
What do you got on them? Where do you think they're at?
I think under, because like I really don't think they're trying to win.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense for them. Like, like they're kind of like the Pistons, where they have nobody other than like a couple players that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But the difference between them and the Pistons is that they have a brilliant future ahead of them, whereas the Pistons have nothing.
That's a good point.
Pistons are garbage. Pistons are terrible.
Yeah. They had their time in the rain this episode. We'll lay off them a bit. Yeah. Portland, 44.5. Does Dame need to go?
I don't think he will. I think he's like one of those players that just like, I think he's proud of playing for the same team his whole career,
Dame
I
for Simmons?
No.
No. But I really think Portland needs to make noise in the playoffs. Like, they need to stop like grinding their way to the second round and then getting bounced in a sweep or something. Like, they need to go on like a serious run, I think.
Yeah.
They just
they need to do something.
They need to make like bigger moves. Like, they keep making moves where they don't really like vastly improve a ton.
Well, they just need to go all in. Like they have the pieces. Like McCollum and Lillard is a great backcourt, and they got Nurkic up front. And it's not like they don't have the pieces. It's just like they need that one extra player to just push them over the edge. And for whatever reason, they just don't. I don't know if they don't want to spend the money, or no, maybe nobody wants to play in Portland. I don't know, but they just can't get it together for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Based off past regular seasons, they've always shown that they're a decent regular season team. I got them over 44.5. But where do you lie on it?
Yeah, I think slightly over, maybe 45, 46.
Yeah. They've always been that kind of hovering around 500, so.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Jazz. 51.5.
Regular season team.
51.5. To me, I think this is one of the easier overs.
Yeah.
In the league. In my opinion, because they're always finishing like top of the West.
Yeah.
Like, they've done the past few seasons.
Great regular season team. Not so much in the playoffs, but great regular season.
They've always kind of choked it away in the playoffs. And I have that here. Like, they've underachieved. They lost to OKC without Kawhi. I think Kawhi went out before the Jazz series.
Could be.
Something like that. I forget. But yeah, and they blew that lead to them. Like, they just need to, whenever it gets to that playoffs.
Well, they have everything. They have the depth. They have the superstars. I don't know. They just can't.
They can't put it together.
Can't put it together in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think Gobert is one of the more overrated defensive players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I just think if he's not rim protecting, then he's a liability.
Yeah, I mean, offensively he's not great, but I still think defensively he's probably one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, I have him over 51.5.
Yeah.
You as well?
It's a safe bet, yeah.
Yeah. The Warriors, 47.5. Klay's coming back around Christmas time. Steph, I feel like he's just going to be in revenge mode this season because I feel like a bunch of people have like disrespected him. Like, kind of
I have a
forgot
hot
him.
take. I think they're going to get over 60 wins.
Over 60 wins.
Yep. I think they could be, like, at least for regular season, I think they could be the best team in the West.
Wow. I love that.
they kind of have everything. Like they built themselves into like a nice spot with their bench this year. And with Klay coming back, it's almost the same team kind of makeup as when they had the 73-9 season.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the depth on their bench and who they got around Curry and Klay and Draymond. So I think over 60 wins. I know that's a hot take, but I don't see it being impossible.
I mean, anything's possible with Steph, right?
Yeah,
it's Steph and Curry. Yeah, I had them over. I think they can be like a 50-win team.
Yeah.
60 wins, that's fucking awesome. That's great for the Instagram right there. That's great for the podcast. No, yeah, I have them better. I have them 5th in the West. But I mean, first, like I wouldn't slouch them at all.
I mean, I know it's only the start of the season, but they did beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
And Steph didn't even play very good that game. So
that's a sign.
That I mean, the Lakers are kind of, I don't know, we'll get to that, I guess, but
yeah.
But yeah.
The Clippers, 45.5. No Kawhi for the year because he tore his ACL late. I don't really know what their ceiling is. Like, the team isn't amazing.
Nope, it is not.
So, I don't really know what their ceiling is. Like, is Kawhi gonna come back?
I don't think Kawhi's coming back this year.
No playoffs at all, too. Like, if they make a deep enough run,
I don't think so. This is the guy that sat out because like his quad hurt a little bit. He missed every second game for 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I don't see him coming back. He's taking a year off.
That's a good point. Yeah, I have him under 45.5.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of people have Paul George as a sleepy MVP pick because he's going to be controlling that team himself.
Playoff P.
Pandemic P.
Yeah, ain't no way.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about that, but yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a team where they're going to hover around like the 8th seed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All year. The Lakers, 52.5. This is the retirement home of the NBA. I think their average age is like 34 years old. I like 52.5 is their over under. I mean,
I say under.
I'm saying under as well. They're so old, dude. Like
They're
like if Rondo is like your starting point guard and like Melo's starting shooting guard, Dwight Howard is coming off the bench too at center, and LeBron, LeBron's LeBron. He's like Brady. It's like he doesn't.
He's getting old, man.
36 years old.
I think LeBron is the GOAT. I'm a huge LeBron fan, but he's not playing like he was 2 years ago, and he's not playing, at that level where I think he can carry a team anymore. Like, he's great, but yeah.
And then and Davis is made of glass.
Yeah, Davis will be injured in a week if he's not already injured.
I guarantee you, within a month, he's gonna have a red sign.
Yep.
Red injury tag beside his name is gonna be a back or a calf injury.
I mean, I had him all last year, and he had a game time decision beside his name pretty much the entire season. Literally the entire season. It was a game time decision.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was listening to a podcast, and he's like, LeBron's the freshest he's ever been. Like, I don't know how Lakers don't win the West. Like, and I'm like, you're only spotlighting LeBron though. Like, if you're thinking if the third name you're saying on that team is Carmelo Anthony, Or like, I mean, they do have Russell Westbrook, but there's only one ball. And
Yeah.
if LeBron has a Russell Westbrook ain't doing shit. But
Yeah, can we talk about that Westbrook trade for a second here?
yeah,
'Cause
let's do it.
I think that Westbrook trade was terrible. Like, I think Westbrook's a great player. I think it's super hard to get a triple double. What was it, like 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row?
3 years in
Like
a row, I
his
think.
average was.
Yeah.
Uh, he's just not that sick though. Like he's getting older. I mean, 32 is not super old, but he's not young,
Yeah.
and he needs the ball in his hands to be productive. He's not like a catch and shoot guy. He can't shoot really. Like he's a bad shooter. It's like if you look at LeBron, whenever LeBron plays well or like LeBron's teams win, he's surrounded by shooters. Like everybody on the team can shoot. It's like you brought in some guy who's going to want the ball all the time, who's going to want to still be a superstar, who can't shoot. It's like, why?
Yeah.
And then it's like you go down the list. It's like, okay, Rondo can't shoot. DeAndre Jordan can't shoot. Dwight Howard can't shoot. Like I
Malik
don't know.
Monk.
Like, yeah, like their team just isn't like I don't know who put it together, but it sucks. I think it sucks.
Yeah, I was going through and I'm like, Anthony Davis is great, but he's maybe what he's not even guaranteed like 60 games.
No, yeah.
And if you're going to be a part of a big three, you got to be there. You got to be available.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't want to count him out because of LeBron. Like you can never count out LeBron, but it's just like that team isn't. They've been lacking shooting the past couple of years, and I think they just got like slightly worse than that.
I just think when you think of the name Westbrook, like LeBron and Davis, you think, wow, that team's going to be amazing. I don't think it's going to be that sick though. Like, I don't think they're going to be that great.
Like I think there's better options. Like I think I would honestly rather bring back Lonzo with how he is now.
Sure. Yeah. Somebody who doesn't need the ball all the time, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I think bringing in like who are some shooters that could like Seth Curry, trade for him. Like it's like some like cheap piece that like can just sit in the corner. And like I heard one take which I kind of I didn't mind. And Westbrook's good for the regular season because on the random days when you're playing like a Cleveland or something like that, you can just rest LeBron and then Westbrook can just do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, come playoff time when like no one's gonna really rest. Like, you don't rest in the playoffs. Like, like I said, there's only one ball that can go around. So how effective is Russ gonna be when he doesn't have the ball in his hands?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, I got the under 52.5. I don't really know where I have them, but probably having around 50 wins, but yeah, I don't know. The Suns, 51.5. No extension for Ayton. How do you feel about that? No rookie max.
I don't see why they didn't. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I mean, yeah, like it was Ayton, Booker, and Chris Paul was like the pillars of that team. I have no idea why they wouldn't give Ayton the contract.
I would prioritize giving Ayton a contract than giving Chris Paul $90 million.
100%, yeah.
So, their over under is 51.5. I have them as like the over. I got them in the over. I think their bench really helped them out, and I think that can help again this year. Like campaign, like I think he proved that he can have a bigger role than last year. So I think that can really help him. What about you?
Yeah, I think what was it, 51 wins you said?
51.5.
Yeah, I'll go over. I think they're a good team.
Yeah,
Great regular season team.
Yeah, I think they're solid. The Kings, 36.5. I don't really know about the this seems weird. Very weird to me. De'Aaron Fox is explosive. I think he's solidified himself as like a respectable guard in this league.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't really know about anyone else. You have Buddy Hield coming off the bench. He's a good spot up guy, but I don't really know anyone else.
I think the problem is Luke Walton. I think Luke Walton's a terrible coach. Terrible. So, I mean, I think if they were to get rid of Luke Walton as the coach, they could do a little better, but I'm going to have to go under for right now because
Yeah.
I think he's just a garbage coach.
Yeah, same here. I got him under as well. By the way, that's a unreal division, the Pacific Division. Golden State, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, and then the Kings. But that's an unreal division. The Southwest, you got Dallas, 48.5. I think that's high for Dallas. My opinion. I think Luka needs a bit more help around him. I feel like he's carrying the load a lot.
Yeah. I think Porzingis really needs to actually like play how people thought he was going to play.
Yeah.
And if he does that, then I could see them being over. But yeah, as of right now, definitely under.
Yeah, I think they're under. I think they're like a 45 win team-ish. But yeah, Kristaps is like complaining about them not using him correctly, but he's also just like not doing anything.
Yeah.
Can't be
injured half the year. So.
Yeah. Remember when like the hype around him in New York? Like he took the world by storm that one year.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just tear his ACL or something? Like he tore like he had a bad injury and then
he was out for like a whole year and then he was traded to the Mavs and then I think he got injured again and was out again.
Yeah.
And then I think it was last year was like the first year that him and like Doncic actually like played together, like seriously played together for like a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I have him slightly under. The Rockets 27.5. I mean, John Wall, but he wants out. He's probably gonna get traded somewhere. Don't know where.
They're not playing him, so
yeah. And then you got Jalen Green, which, I mean, no spoilers, but I think he's up there to win Rookie of the Year. I think he's the favorite or second favorite. His favorite. He's already put up a 30 spot. Like he's done very well. They
have some decent players, but I don't know.
They're not. I don't think they're not gonna make any noise this year, in my opinion. I think like you're gonna see maybe like Jalen Green maybe dunk on a couple guys this year, kind of like what Anthony Edwards did last year. But
yeah,
I think it's gonna be like a very Minnesota Timberwolves year last year. Maybe some bright spots that might upset someone, but
they got like Christian Wood and Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. and that's about it. So
yeah, I have him under 27.5. The Grizzlies 41.5. I saw Ja Morant. He's the favorite to win Most Improved Player. I didn't know that he was qualified to win Most Improved Player because I thought he's already had.
That don't make a lot of sense.
He's already been like a solid point guard now. Like I think he's. I don't know
if you would ask me like where he was, you know how like we were talking about Trey Young being like a tier 2. Ja Morant was like tier 2.5.
That's perfect. That's a perfect spot for him.
I don't think he's moving up to tier 1 anytime soon. Like he could, even if he averages like 30 points per game this year, which I guess is possible, but I don't see it happening. I still don't think that puts him in. I know that's crazy to say, but I don't think that puts him in tier 1. It might put him in tier 2.
Yeah.
But Most Improved Player, I don't think so.
Like, I mean, if like I think he's Because if he's qualified to win Most Improved Player, then I think he's gonna win it. Because I think he's gonna have a better year than any of the guys who are
Yeah,
capable of winning Most Improved.
yeah,
But I don't think he's Most Improved to me is like you had an average year the year before, and then like this is gonna be
yeah.
your step up year.
It's
Like
like
this is
it was like Devonte Graham, like what was it last year, a couple years ago, where he was like trash the year before, and then the next year he was like, one of the leading players on the Hornets.
yeah
John Morant's been that guy
on the
for the
Grizzlies,
Grizzlies
and
since he came.
they've been like a playing team in like mid of the West. Like they've been a good solid team the past couple
Yeah,
years. So yeah, I have them over 41.5. I think that's actually a decent bet for them. I think they
yeah,
could be like a 44 win team area. Like I think they could be solid. Um, the Pelicans, 38.5. I don't really know anyone else but Zion and maybe like Josh Hart, but Brandon Ingram too. But yeah, I think Zion, like once he's gonna sign his contract, get his money,
yeah.
and then he's probably gonna ask for a trade like a year and a half later.
Definitely.
I heard someone say he's gonna request a trade to New York, and they're gonna trade RJ Barrett for him, and then he's gonna ask out of New York again too because he's not with his boy. Imagine. He's like,
I
ah,
can see
shit.
New York doing something stupid like that.
You traded my guy for me? Fuck that. Give me give me back. But yeah, I don't see anything special from New Orleans in my opinion. I got
Yeah,
under 38.5, but what do you got on
yeah.
New Orleans?
Well, I think if Zion can stay healthy, I'm gonna say just slightly over, because they do, like, Ingram was amazing last year, and Zion's a beast, and they got Valanciunas, like coming in at the 5, and like they have Devonte Graham too as their one of their point guards, so they got a little bit more depth. But yeah, I don't think they'll be that good, but slightly over,
Okay.
slightly over.
The Spurs, 28.5.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's the Spurs.
It's the Spurs. They're always one of those teams where it's like you're always gonna like count them out, but then they're somehow gonna like be the 7th seed,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
wait, what? What happened here? How'd you get here? So yeah, I don't really know. I put them over, but I don't know why.
I'm gonna say under just because I don't think they have anybody that can really score on their team. Like they got like a lot of good young guys,
Yeah,
DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, and guys like that. But nah, I don't think anybody can score like consistently every night, get them 25 points kind of thing.
yeah, fair enough. All right, I have for the playoffs, I got Jazz winning the West again.
Mhm.
I put Lakers 4, Warriors 5, but I think I might switch that.
Lakers 4, Warriors 5.
Like I think I'm gonna put Warriors 4, Lakers 5.
Yeah, I mean you already know. I think Golden State's winning the West.
Yeah,
I think they're a 60-win team this year.
I love that take. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, but the rest of that, yeah.
I got Portland, Clippers, Grizzlies, and Pelicans as my plans, and I got Portland and Memphis coming out. Maybe like Clippers being out
Yeah,
of there could be
yeah.
spicy, but
No, I don't think it. Like, I don't think Kawhi's coming back, so this is under the assumption that he's not coming back. But I don't think the Clippers will make playoffs or even the play-in. And if they do make the play-in, then they're not. I don't think they'll win it.
yeah. But yeah, I got Jazz, Nuggets, Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Dallas, and then Portland, Clippers, Grizzlies, Pelicans, with Portland and Memphis coming out on
Yeah,
top.
the only thing I'd switch on that is I would just put Warriors at the top, and then I would just kind of like shuffle everybody
Down one.
one down. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much what I'd have as well.
Solid. I like that. All right, we're coming up on the end, but awards. I got FanDuel's favorites to win the award.
Mhm.
And obviously this could have fluctuated a bit after the season started, but I still put it down. But who do you got winning MVP this year?
I think Ja Morant could win MVP.
Ja Morant.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, like, I know that's a hot take, but he just like when I watch him play, he just wants to win so bad.
Yeah.
And like looks like he wants to do everything he can to win. And I think, like I think Grizzlies are a good team. Like I think they have a good supporting cast around him. And I think it'll make it easy for him to score and to get assists and to just be like like the biggest impact possible on that team. Because I think if you were to sit Ja on that team, I don't think they win.
Fair.
Whereas like I think if you look at like the Celtics, like you mentioned Tatum earlier, it's like if you sit Tatum, I don't think that has the same impact. Like they still have Jalen, they still have
Marcus
a couple other
Smart,
guys.
Dennis
Yeah.
Schroeder, yeah.
And
Fair
it's
enough.
like whereas like if you sit Ja on that team, I don't think they win. And also the league doesn't like to give MVPs for whatever reason to like guys that are obvious MVP candidates like Lillard and Giannis, and I don't know. I mean, I guess not Giannis, but I don't think he'd win it a third time.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, Giannis is the favorite.
yeah, obviously.
And I got Embiid winning it.
Embiid, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I have them finishing third in the East, and if they don't have Simmons, who's, despite him not scoring at all, can still provide value on defense and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's gonna, if he stays healthy, like, cause he would have won it last year. He was like number one in voting, and then he got hurt.
I like that pick. So it's
So
kind of like the same thing with Ja. It's like if you sit Embiid,
76ers
who else do
are
the
done.
Sixers have?
Andre
Yeah.
Drummond. Let's go. Rookie of the year. I went chalk with this one. Because
I'm
like
gonna go Mobley.
Mobley?
Yep.
I went Jalen Green.
Okay. All right.
Put up a 30 spot already.
Yeah.
And yes, that helped me. But I think rookie of the year, a lot of the time it's like chalk. Unless someone like fucking comes from the clouds. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of just went chalk with this one. Because that's usually the
The only reason I
narrative.
say Mobley is because I feel like the ceiling is a little bit higher, and I only really say that too is because it's like I feel like on the Rockets they're so bad that it'll be pretty tough for Jalen to, like, I mean obviously he'll have to be that guy, but it'll be a little tougher for him to put up bigger numbers. Whereas I think even like Mobley's not going to be scoring a ton, but I think overall he might have more room to operate, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
And he's also on my fantasy team, so I kind of want him to be
So
be
you're,
good.
so you're controlling the narrative through that. Fair enough. Most improved player. Favorite, like I said, is Ja Morant for some reason. I don't think he should qualify for most improved player because
No.
you have him for MVP, which I
Yeah.
think he's more in that range.
Yeah.
Who do you have as improving? I can get some of the names here.
Yeah, hit me with some of the
Yeah.
names.
Let's see here. Should be here. Player futures. We got Ja Morant, and then Jordan Poole, Tyler
Ooh.
Hero, Kevin Porter Jr., Miles Bridges, and Michael Porter Jr. Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, OG, LaMelo, Garland, Christian Wood, DeJounte Murray, Cam Reddish.
Those are all great names. I think LaMelo is already a superstar, so I'm going to take him out of that conversation.
Yeah, I think winning Rookie of the Year
kind of takes you out of that.
And
that most improved player range. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, because I think he can make a big impact with Klay gone.
Yep.
So
and then even when Klay comes back, I think there's, because obviously Klay's not going to be 100% when he comes back right away.
100%.
I think there's a lot of room for him to keep making an impact.
And even if you have them as a 60-win team, so they're going to be blowing people out. So I think Jordan Poole's going to get those minutes too, because they're going to afford to sit Steph. Because
Exactly.
Yeah, because he's the type of guy where it's like, usually we don't have anyone. Steph's used to playing 34 minutes a night. Now Poole, he put up 40 fantasy points the other night.
Yeah.
And he had a 30-point game last year, so he's capable of controlling a game himself.
And also that most improved list. I think there'll be better players than Jordan Poole on that list that you mentioned. I think DeJounte Murray is going to be an amazing point guard this year. But I think if you look at the award of most improved, I think Jordan Poole from where he was last year to where he's going to end up this year, I think we'll have that biggest gap, biggest improvement.
Fair. I have OG and Unobi.
Yep.
Because I think the Raptors, they got nothing. So I think a lot of the stuff's going to run through him.
Yeah.
So he has a lot of opportunity. Defensive Player of the Year. Favorite is Rudy Gobert. See if I can get some names here. Rudy's favorite. You got Davis, Giannis, Miles Turner, Embiid, Bam. Ben Simmons is after Bam. If you really want to throw your money away. And then I don't think it's going past Bam. I don't think anyone here is going to win it. Draymond Green's after Ben Simmons. Which looks really bad on Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Because I think there should be 7 names ahead of Ben Simmons, but that just shows you how much it drops off. I got Giannis winning it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a beast.
So, and I think with Bucks finishing top of the East, I have him, I think that's gonna help him.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that list, Giannis is clearly the best.
Yeah.
Defender on that list. So yeah.
Yeah. 6 man a year. Tyler Hero right now is favored according to FanDuel. Then you got Clarkson, D Rose, Buddy Hield, Patty Mills, Joe Ingles, Jordan Poole, Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley, Caruso. I don't hate the Patty Mills pick at plus 1,600 because of how much time Kyrie's gonna miss if he doesn't get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that at all because I think he's gonna get a lot of usage. I got Jordan Clarkson going back to back.
What was that, sir?
I got Jordan Clarkson going back to back.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna stick with Jordan Poole just because I'm riding my Warriors got 60 wins this year train. So
and usually when they finish at the top, then someone's gonna be winning that award. Yeah. Someone wins an award if your team finishes at the top, whether it's most improved, MVP, defensive player of the year. Last year for the Jazz, Jordan Clarkson won six man of the year, right? Someone always takes home a trophy when your team finishes at the top. So Golden State, your guy is Jordan Poole, and I think that's a good pick with how much time Klay's gonna miss. Finals picks before we get to time for the press. I got a couple here. One of them is the obvious one. It's Lakers Nets, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I got a little sneaky one here. Nuggets versus Bucks.
Ooh, yeah, that has potential.
Because I think Jamal Murray will come back by playoffs, or at least first round area.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna get home court. I don't think it's gonna be a problem for them. And I just think, I don't know. I just have this feeling about them that they could go. But I might even do Nuggets versus Nets. Because I don't know. I think it could be the Nets here this year.
I'm gonna have to go with I think Warriors versus Nets. I think you're gonna.
That would be a fucking final and a half.
Yeah, I think it'd be entertaining. Like I know everybody wants the Lakers to come out of the West, but like we were talking about earlier,
old.
They're so old, and I don't like. They just don't have the I don't think they have the right pieces. Like they have a bunch of good players, but just not the right pieces for what LeBron and AD need.
Yeah.
So I don't see them making the finals, and I think, like you said, this is like Curry's revenge season. Like Klay is a monster. Like when that guy wants to win and like wants to play, like he'll do anything to play and to win. So he's gonna have a lot of motivation coming back. I hate Draymond Green, so screw that guy. But we won't, he's solid.
Yeah.
But and then the rest of the team has a lot of depth, and we didn't really talk about Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, I forgot about Wiggins.
But he's not great, but he's a solid player.
He's a good role player. Option. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a good role player.
And
I really think the move to the Warriors helped his career, because I think he was I think being around like guys like Steph and Klay and even Draymond, like he's a good leader. He might not be the best, like he's Mr. Single, triple single, a lot of 9 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists type of games. He's just a pest on defense. But I think being around Steph and like just that winning culture, I think it was really good, and it proved because he took a big step when he got to the Warriors. But yeah, man, Warriors Nets would be insane.
Could you imagine that? Curry and KD versus each other?
Like Curry Harden.
Curry and then Harden too.
Like that'd be amazing. No,
it would be great.
And I honestly think that come trade deadline, why wouldn't the Warriors make a splash if they're in the position to make another run? Yeah. So they could add another star to their team.
Yeah, I think it could be the year.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Dougie, on the show, we do a little thing called Time for the Press, where listeners send in questions. And not much, because we really only have one, because the other one we kind of already covered. Is Russ really the Lakers' answer? And we've kind of
no, it is not.
Squashed that. I don't think he fits that team, like we've gone over. But this one's an anonymous one, and I think this person wants you to figure out who he is.
Okay.
Ask him who sends the worst trades in fantasy.
Oh my God. Glock does. Without a doubt, yeah. Yeah, Matt Glock, worst trades in fantasy by far. Not even close. In any league, hockey, basketball, like you ask anybody in any league, Glock has the worst trades by far.
Yeah, he's up there.
like I know myself, I send some pretty crazy trades, but no, Glock takes the cake. Glock is the gold medal winner when it comes to bad trades. It's terrible. Just terrible. Like, okay, here, for example, I'll give you an example.
I'm excited.
He sent me, I wanted McKinnon off his team for the hockey fantasy. And so I sent him Gensel and Tavares and my first and second and third round pick for McKinnon, which is like pretty crazy, but I have a plan, so let's not even talk about it. But like, it's not a horrible trade for him.
No, right? I don't think it's a bad trade at all.
No. And so I sent him that. Then he sends me, I can't even remember now, some like third line grinder, and then like, or no, he sent me McKinnon and his 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th pick for Draisaitl, and my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th pick. Okay, Draisaitl is already better, like maybe not in real life, but for fantasy wise, Draisaitl is the 2nd best player in the league for fantasy. So
Yeah.
And my 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, 5th pick. Like what? Like how does that benefit me at all? You know, like
It doesn't.
he's terrible.
Oh man. Do you have a guess who sent that question in?
Oh, it's got to be Glock or Cole or somebody like that who understands. Like,
it was Cole.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Cole gets it. Cole already knew it was Glock.
Oh, that's hilarious. Doug, this was a lot of fun. The NBA season is going to be a good one. Full 82 game slate. So it's going to be good. Let the people know where they can find you on Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
It'd be a real shocker if I told you I didn't know my Instagram handle. But if you just look up Doug Eberle on Instagram, you can probably find me.
Doug.Eberle.
Yeah, there's not too many of those out there. So yeah, that's about it. That's all that's the only place I'm located. So.
And declining bad trades from Maclock over Yahoo Fantasy. That's also where you can find them.
Yeah.
Guys, you know where you can follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftsideHeavy_, just like I said at the beginning of the show. Subscribe to the YouTube where you can catch full episode podcasts, and be sure to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Help grow the show. Helps a lot. Doug, once again, thank you so much. NBA season is going to be fun. Let's hope we see Warriors crack 60 wins this year. That'll be electric for the league. And listeners, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Went from ducking and fucking and now I got put in the friend zone. There's no need for discussion, I just really loved how you get low.